Well, hello everyone. This is Chaitanya, and I'm at my home here right now. It's uh, it's 1:30 in the night, and it's now that I'm just recording this important question on why do we do yoga. Please understand, the question is not. I'm sorry. The question is why should we do yoga? I'm not asking why do we do yoga, because when we say why do you do yoga, well, basically everyone has their own answers. You do yoga. Some people do yoga because they feel good. Some people do yoga because they feel relaxed. Some people do yoga because they feel relieved. No, because let's say someone have a headache or a mental illness, and they do yoga and they get cured. Just because they got cured, whoever has a mental illness, they cannot be given the same practice. This is what you need to understand. It's a very important fact which we need to understand. This is the difference between the question. Please understand. The question I'm asking is, the question we have here is, why should we do yoga? It is not about why do we do yoga. The question of why yoga needs to be answered. There are many people teaching yoga today. Just because you have learned, should I also learn yoga? If someone asks this, you have learned yoga, you have no other thing. So just because you have learned, should I also learn? Is that why it is? So why should we learn yoga? For example, a person who has no mental illness, no physical pain, the hatha yoga. Now here I'm talking about hatha yoga. Please understand. Uh, by yoga, the question which we have here is, why should we do hatha yoga? It is not about why do we do hatha yoga, it is about why should we do hatha yoga. Alright, so if a person who has no physical pain, no illness, no mental disorders, no depression, and is all perfectly fine, and if he is complete, he should he or will what effect exactly will it produce, will doing yoga produce? And understand, it's not even for a physical body, he has a well built body. Then why should he do yoga? If he has everything, why should he do yoga is the very basic question. Because people who are selling yoga, the hatha yoga, saying that you will get rid of the health disorder, saying that you will get you'll have anger management, stress management, you will be able to do something better, extraordinarily, it will produce a better results. These all things can be given to people who don't have those things. But how will you present the same yoga to someone who has everything? Then why should he do it is the very question. Alright? Now here it's a very important question, and it's a very important topic which we need to understand. It's a very important revelation, and it's night 1 o'clock, I'm sorry, 1:30 in the night, and still I'm recording it because it's quite important question. Alright? So why should we do yoga? And I'm just explaining this revelation which I've had today morning, I'm sorry, yesterday morning, when I just get up in the morning, and we go to the garden. I just do the hatha yoga. So why should we do hatha yoga? See, for me, why do I do yoga? When I was asked, I just mentioned that it's a time when most of the revelations they just happen and they become your biomemory, right? And it's much of what you have experienced. You will just see a newer dimension of it, and it's joyful. It's good. It's really joyful. I mean, it's a way of when we just sit and we chant, when we are supposed to work on, when I'm working on some text or something else, when the revelations happen. So even yoga is a moment when the revelation happens. That's for me. And by that, understand Jnana Yoga is my fruit. Please understand the paths like Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Karma Yoga, they are not paths to be followed, but they are the very fruit you get for the path which you followed. Understand, the Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Karma Yoga, they choose you. You don't choose them. If you try to choose them, you will not achieve them. They choose you. You get bhakti as a fruit. The karma yoga happens as a fruit. The happening is the fruit. It's like when people are working on karma yoga, bhakti yoga, by singing and by doing bhakti, it's more like a tree is growing and it's going to give fruit anyways. All you have to do is just collect the fruit when it grows. You have to water the tree. That is what we need to do, isn't it? So whatever fruit you get, you can water all the trees. If you just take the work of watering the trees, you can water different trees and you can get the different fruits. The work of watering is same. But if you think, no, my job is to water only the apple plantation, or my job is only to water the mango fruits because you know I am on the path of tasting mangoes, or I'm on the path of mango, so I'll water only mango fruits and I will leave the remaining. Who is losing out? See, it's the same work, right? It's the same work. And because the same work you are not applying to the other trees, you're not able to see the fruit there, or you don't get the fruit there. Right? It is not that the actual thing is that you water all of them, and the fruit, when it falls down, you just take and you eat and you taste it. So the fruit is for you. Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Karma Yoga, these are fruits like that. Understood? So deciding that I will be on the Jnana Yoga, and then taking only Jnana and leaving the Karma Yoga, or leaving the working. Many people do it. They think my path is Bhakti Yoga, so I don't need to work much. Then some people, they think their path is Karma Yoga, so they don't need to resort to Bhakti and Jnana. And some people take up Jnana Yoga. They feel that I have to go in such a path where there is no, it's not about Bhakti and it's not about Karma Yoga, it's not about working. So it's like this, that you are in a you know for a garden where there are different trees, and you have one pipe there. You have one pipe, and you are supposed to you water them. You have to water them, water the trees to get the fruit. All right, now all you do is talk about the fruit, talk about the mango will be like this and mango will be like that, and mango happens this way. So if I go out and buy some mangoes and taste them, I'll get the experience of the mango, and then I need not water the trees here, and I will water only mango tree. But please understand, when you have had the mango tree, mango fruits from outside, and you tasted it, and the mango fruit which is going to fall as a fruit for you, alright, which is going to fall as a fruit for you, it will be a comparison, it will not be an experience, it will be an incompletion of some sort. See, if the taste was really good enough, if the taste is really good enough, you will feel okay, it is as good as the mango you have previously tasted. Alright? And for this you have to work so hard. And then you will have to support your foolishness somehow. There will be all the other fruits. There was the possibility of getting so many fruits, but you avoided it. Life is such. You have the possibility for everything, but we avoid it. And that's a pity. So, let me come back to our question. Now, this is very important because please understand, the path chooses you. So you just can't say that I am on the path of bhakti, so I will not go for karma yoga and jnana yoga, and my path is karma yoga, so I will not bother about bhakti and jnana. That is not, and my path is the ultimate path. These all are nothing but, you are trying. It will just increase your hard work. It will not add. It's not a smart work. All right, because you're working anyways. See, I can understand you'll have to water 100 trees, but anyhow when you're carrying the pipe to your tree, why not water the rest of them? Why not water the rest of them? And especially if the pipe is just near all the trees, if it is passing through all the trees, all you need to do is just open the tap and let the water pass through the holes. That's all you need to do is that. So the thing is that the path chooses you. Now this understanding came from the fact that when I was working, when I am working out the yoga, the knowledge emerges out. Alright? Understand? Doing yoga every day is the karma yoga. The knowledge which is happening by itself is jnana yoga. And the bliss that happens, experience of, the very gratitude which we feel for the yoga is the bhakti yoga. So they all happen together. They all happen together. That's the first thing. Now let us understand. So the question, will come back to it again. Why should we do the hatha yoga? If someone who has everything and he is joyful, why should he do it? This is where most, you can't sell him. You can't sell him yoga. He'll just say, I can sit and I can get whatever. Especially if they have siddhis. If someone has siddhis, you go and tell him, let us do Surya Namaskara. The surrounding people, first of all, to say that, it will take a lot of effort, guts, and the remaining people, and maybe even the person who has siddhi, if he asks you, why should I do it? What are you going to answer? Especially if he is a disciple and if you are an acharya there, what are you going to answer him when he says, why should I do it? You can't tell him that you will get, you can go for enlightenment, said these are not the ultimate. We can't give those answers. They might, he might do it for you, but he's not going to experience the yoga, and you have not given him the real answer. So why should we do yoga is the real question. For someone who has attained samadhi, why should he do yoga? For someone who has attained siddhis, why should he do yoga? The hatha yoga, please understand, I'm just stressing it out again. For someone who is, specifically I'm talking about hatha yoga right now here. For someone who has experienced samadhi, why should he do hatha yoga? You should know Shiva Shiva does the hatha yoga, and Shiva is really, he is they are way beyond God. He's Shiva. He's he's the master of all the siddhis, and people say that to keep the art alive he does it. But Shiva does that at Kailasha. How come the art is alive everywhere else? This is the real question you need to understand. This is the very basic question we need to understand. So why should we do yoga? Let me just explain what exactly happened. Now, it's 108 Surya Namaskaras which I do. Alright. Now, there are various ways to put it. Sometimes, because mind is, it's very difficult initially to just take up 1, 2, 3 and do it till 108. By that time, you will give up at 24, you will give up at 20, you will give up at 16. So, usually the the method which I devised for myself was we'll count 54 and each count will have 2 Surya Namaskaras. Complete 2 Surya Namaskaras. Then even 54 doing it that way, initially it worked out, but later again the same problem. So then I started using various combinations. So in that, I'll just tell you what was the course which I followed today. So it was 54 times. Suddenly I decided that, alright, we will do 6 times Surya Namaskara for each count. That means, and I usually count it backwards. So it's 18 into 6 times. That is 108. So I just need to do 18 times, counting 6. So 18. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 18 over, now 17 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 17. Then 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now 15. This way. Now, what is interesting here is, what is important here you need to understand is, it's a very effective method which really works out. But why should we do yoga? Now, during this time, what I have really experienced, what you really experience is, each and by when you do the yoga, see, I decided 18 times and 6 times. These are the two numbers, please understand. For every 6 time, usually there is a little stoppage. Okay, so after 18, 6 times I do, it's 18 finished, then we have a stoppage. Then we do it for 17, 16, and then at 15 I had a stop. Then 14 and 13, next I had a stop. Then 12, 11, 10, at 9 I had a stop. I just stopped. Understand, it's a similar pattern. Now when I say each time, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so each time, even if I do it, now what happened was, when I have completed till 6, now it was 36, then I decided suddenly it's 18 into 2, so that's 18 times, each time it is 1, 2, now 18, then 1, 2, 17, 1, 2, 16, and please understand, it is the same course. When I decided 18 into 6, and now I am doing 18 into 2. So by very nature, what was happening was, it was the same thing. And I tell you, in that 18 into 2, I have experienced the same thing which I have experienced in 18, or to do 18 times, when I was doing the 18 into 6. I've experienced the exact, or almost the similar stoppages and similar phenomena. Here is the click you need to understand. Here is the click which you need to understand. I'm explaining this very clearly. Whatever lives you had been through, your this life is nothing but a repetition of all those lives. So if you get complete knowledge of all the moments in your life now, you get a complete knowledge of all the past lives. This is one sacred secret. The second sacred secret which you need to understand is, why should we do this Hatha Yoga? Now when you are doing the Hatha Yoga, as I explained, in each it was just a repetition. So by and by, each step will be a complete repetition, or expression of whatever you have been doing. Now let me just put it again. How exactly? See, first I did 18, and each time, first I decided it was 18 times, and each count, let's say 18, contained 6 times of Surya Namaskaras, right? So with that course I followed till 6. I was just observing how the exactly the what is happening, just witnessing. So till 6, it is it is 12, right? 12 into 6 times. But I stopped at 6 because every time after doing 1 2 3 4 5 6 I was stopping. So finally, at when I came to 6th count, where each time 18 6 times, 17 6 times, 16 6 times, 15 6 times, like that till I reached 7 6 times, then it was time to do 6 and 6 times. So I just stopped there. That was a big halt. Now if you just understand what you have done from 18 to 6, so it was just a click, as if, oh yes, I am experiencing the same thing, because I was stopping at every 6, at every number. Now I'm stopping here. So you have an answer for every why. Understood? You have an answer for every why. At a deeper level, if you see, each and every breath has eternity into it. This is the whole gist. Each and every incident of your life, if you just see, it is reflection of your previous births. And I am saying all the previous births. Each and every point is a reflection of, each and every incident is a reflection of previous birth. And when you start looking at it from events, from births to from incidences, to incidences to which are in years, like 10 years back, 15 years back, 20 years back, to 1 year back, 2 years back, and then you reduce that and you start looking very carefully at what happened 10 days back, 15 days back, and then you start looking at what happened 2 days back, 3 days back. What exactly happens is, the first time when you considered what happened 10 years back, 15 years back, you will see the same thing, the similar pattern, and again the similar pattern when you consider the events 2 years back, 3 years back, and you will see a similar pattern, whether it is of completion or incompletion. Please understand, there is nothing like incompletion. By very nature you are complete. So when you see 2 years and 3 years, you will see again the same thing. When you see 2 days and 3 days, you will start seeing the same thing. And the next, when you see 2 hours or 3 hours, you will start seeing the same thing. And if you can extend it further to 2 events and 2 thoughts and 2 moments and 3 moments, you will start seeing the same thing. That means whatever happened from last 10-12 years till this moment, you will have a clarity about everything. When this clarity, even if you come to 2 or 3 years, by that time already you will be very well aware that so many years, so many janmas back what happened with you. So in Hatha Yoga, why you should do a Hatha Yoga is doing all different Hatha Yoga has so many different stanzas. Who's going to do so many different stanzas? We can't do all. That's what we think, isn't it? We can't do all. There is standing on one leg, there is standing upside down, there is breathing Bastrika so much. then there is Kapalvati, blowing nose, shaking hands, moving legs, flattening your tummy, lying down, and then rolling like a plastic tube, rolling like a tube. You have all these things. Now, take up any one, take up any one. When we take up the practice of some one posture or something, some one asana, and when we do it, you will be able to have the experiences of, not just you will be able to have the experiences of the remaining asanas, it will be all the asana into one asana. That is what will happen. All the Hatha Yogic asanas will combine into one set of practice. Will give you the experience. You will start realizing what exactly I mean to say is, when you do just one asana, it is possible to learn the entire yoga, to learn the entire Hatha Yoga. Now, why should you do Hatha Yoga? Please understand, Hatha Yoga facilitates this very understanding of experiencing the eternity in a moment. Experiencing the eternity in a moment. Realizing that this moment, see, understand, Hatha Yoga is not for discovering you. It is for experiencing the rediscovered one. When you are into minding, for a moment, Hatha Yoga gets back, it makes you, you experience life. You just drop the minding and you experience the life. Now it is at this moment you realize the entire life. You realize you are life, and then you actually realize it. Okay? You realize it, and for a moment you just see the very previous things which you have done, and it's nothing but it's just repeating. It's something which I'm just trying to put exactly what happens. The expression is this. Please catch the expression if you can. You are living eternity in a moment. First you see the eternity for 10 years, then you see that means you sit for 1 hour and you analyze the last 10-15 years experience. So you are living 10-15 years in 1 hour, right? later you sit for half an hour. Alright? No, you sit for, first you sit for 1 hour, and you realize, you take up the events 2 years back, 3 years back. If you go for even 10 years back, 15 years back, you will take very less time, because you don't remember much of them. You will just remember it once and you will leave it off. So first, when you put 1 hour, you are taking 2 years back, 3 years back events, and you do it. You practice on completing it. Let us say if it is old in completions, 2 years back, 3 years back, 4 years back, you will take them up and you will start completing with them. It will take 1.5 hours, 2 hours, 3 hours. Then if you consider the events which were 10 years old, 15 years old, understand, you cannot think about them. You will just sit, and if you really sit with yourself, you will be able to recollect them within 2 hours, and they won't be complete. Understand, the recollection will not be complete still, but yes, it will take 1 hour or so. It will take lesser time. But if you have to recollect, when you are recollecting, say your age is 30, but when you want to go 70 years back, then what will happen? You don't even have a clue how and what. How much time can you think? It will just come down. Hardly 1 minute, not even 1 minute, 30 seconds. 30 seconds. In 1 minute you will be thinking at the most by your, by the time 6 or 7 years. Then after that, you know very clearly that even if you sit for very long, it's not going to happen, so you just leave it. Right? You don't take much time here. Now when you do the Hatha Yoga, this very possibility opens up. Does this not open up when you just sit and meditate? Well, it does open up, maybe. It does open up, but not this way exactly. When you do even if it open up, there will be still a doubt. It's like it will not become your biomemory. With Hatha Yoga, it will become your biomemory. That means what? You will do it once. Whatever you are remembering, it will just stay with you. It is just going to stay with you. That is why Patanjali starts with Samadhi first. Then he starts with practice. It has two things. You go through Samadhi, you reach the Samadhi, and then you come back. It's just like Shiva's Damaru. It's a cone on both the sides, and then there is, at the center there is Trishul. Trishula represents the enlightening knowledge, the enlightening. So initially you traveled from one point in the Damaru to the Trishul. Now whatever you are going to see is what you have seen. For example, the Damaru is there. Say it is there is a point in Damaru. Now I'll have to draw that for you, but let us say if this is the length of the whole Damaru and here is the Trishul. This is one end, this is one end. You are here somewhere. You have come till here. You have experienced the maybe even if it is a Samadhi or Satori or whatever experience you have experienced it. Now you are moving this way, and this point, whatever you have moved, say you have from here to this point, it has taken 6 months. Alright? 6 years of time. Okay, let's say 6 years of time. From here to here, it has taken 6 months. Right? So from here to again the 6 months distance, that distance to the same point which is here, this gap, the journey, the structure is same for Damru, both the sides. Please understand. That means what? After Samadhi, you are going to experience from Adi what happened. That means from the beginning of you as life, whatever has happened, you will be experiencing till the now. Till the now, this body comes back. Right? Correct? And that is how you come back to your body or your being, as this is what you are. Now understand, this is what Hatha Yoga can do for you. When you do it this way, coming from after Samadhi, when you are doing the Hatha Yoga, you will be able to center yourself at the trident, at the Trishula. That means you will have the mobility, you will, just by vision, you will be at the Trishula and you can look as far as possible. See, here what happens is, when you go 6 months, now you're here, you'll have to see all that has happened through the 6 months. When you're traveling, your future is showing what your past was, right? This is what happens. But how long is your future? If you are going to, it does not mean, you can say, I'm going to live for 100 years. So after 100 years, what happens? This body dies. Then how come? What happens next? If you have reached 100 years here, you have attained Samadhi at 30, and then 70 years, next 30 years, you're going to see the same thing which happened from birth to death. Next 40 years, you might be seeing, let us say, your next birth, you are creating karmas and all, you are preparing for your next birth, and the next birth it will be reflected. That is what you may think. But if you get the knowledge of beyond 30, you're traveling next 40 years here, the click that happens with Hatha Yoga is, you understand that this 40 is not your coming birth 40, but it was your previous 40. It's little difficult. I'm just trying to put it exactly. What happens is, from your childhood till now, maybe it is 20 years, within 30 minutes or 40 minutes, you are able to see everything that has happened with you. In the next 20 minutes, you can get, in the next 20 minutes, you can get the capability to see what is going to happen for the next 10 years, 20 years maybe, let's say 20 years, what exactly is happening. Just with a glimpse, you can actually see this life and beyond within 2 minutes. But let us say, in the next 20 minutes, you are seeing your 20 years. Understand, this 20 years of future which you are seeing is actually a reflection of your 20 years past. So if this clicks with you, you will be able to see the past beyond your, the birth, the last 20 years before the birth, you will be able to see. And now, can it happen without the Hatha Yoga? It can happen. Understand? It can happen. But because you are experiencing the world with this body, when it is happening, you will not be aware of it. But if the realization happens while during the Hatha Yoga, it becomes your biomemory. That is why Hatha Yoga was actually Even Hatha Yoga was ordained, or was taught by an enlightened master. Hatha Yoga was also taught by an enlightened master, and it was not taught. See, if you see Zen tradition, they just give sweeping. People just go and they sweep, and so they will learn everything. They learn it as a yoga. They learn it as a practice. So the physical practice was a must, not because you know you'll become lazy, you'll become lethargic, but whatever you are doing, it becomes your biomemory, and you will be aware of it when actually the event is happening, and it will click with you that the past 20 years you will have the capability to see it very quickly. If we ask a normal person to sit and analyze his last 20 years, he may take 2 years. But for someone who is into jnana yoga or something, he may take say 20 minutes. But for someone who is with jnana, bhakti and all, and doing the hatha yoga, it it is very much possible that it will just take less than 2 minutes. There is a very high possibility for it, and that is why Patanjali himself has introduced, the we have Giranda Samhita. Again, Giranda Samhita is Shiva is giving this to Chandakapali, and Shiva has given this. The Giranda Samhita explains very clearly, and you should know all this was given by enlightened masters. And whenever enlightened masters give something, it is just enlightening masters. When they give something, they are just delivering the space. So that is why it is first Samadhi Pada, where the working about Samadhi is done. You reach the Adi, you reach the beginning, and then when you are coming back to this body, now it's a time to work out and experience all those years in less and less time. Finally, you will reach a point where you experience eternity in a moment. You experience eternity in a moment. Now, at that point of time, you are just established. You are established in eternity. If it is 2 moments, 3 moments that you are feeling the eternity, you may feel eternal, that you are eternal, and the eternity is experienced. It takes time, and just in a moment, you are in the moment and you see the eternity. That's what Trikaladarshi means. Trikaladarshi means in the moment you are able to see the eternity, past, present, future, and beyond. In the moment, just being in the moment. And it is natural. It can happen naturally. The fact that it is natural can be realized through Hatha Yoga. So understand, Hatha Yoga is a very powerful tool to get established. So why should one do Hatha Yoga? To get established. It is necessary. It may be a need before enlightenment, but it's a must after enlightenment. Till you are established in that moment, and after you are established in the moment, you'll do it. By that time you will do it yourself. Only the people, the disciples may not understand why why the Guru is saying, why you are saying that to do it. But so all I want to say here is, that is the reason even our Gurus, the enlightened masters, gave the Hatha Yogic practices for the beginners. They gave it for the beginners. This was the very reason. But they gave a specific practice to specific person. And nowhere it was meant for health and headache, stomach ache. If you are angry with your spouse, just go and sit your blow your nose, and because you'll feel good for 1 day, 2 day, third day she will also sit and she is not going. The spouse is not going to be quiet. Even either they will look for the same solution, or you know it's more or less like actually the effect decreases. Then you feel okay, I should look for some other practice. Maybe the wife is being resistant to it, or she's getting more stronger, so I need to increase my yogic practice. Then the hatha yoga practice, then you go to your trainer, and again they have a very easy way to give you, because they are supposed to give you another practice. Yeah, you will be charged. Understand, why should you do yoga is more important than why do you do yoga. So why should you do yoga? The Hatha Yoga gives you the capacity to experience eternity in a moment. 20, 30 years in two years. Please understand, 20, 30 years of past and future both. This is what I am saying. If you want to see 30 years of past within 30 minutes, Hatha Yoga gives you that capability. So, understanding this and then doing it is something different. Alright? Just doing it without understanding is not going to fetch you, because the very purpose you are doing yoga, why you are doing yoga is not something which is important. Why should you do yoga? Just ask yourself, if you are going to get the headache cured by taking a tablet, why should you do yoga? Why should you do yoga? If there is some scary disease which is getting cured through yoga, and if it can be cured by a doctor, and if you are rich enough, why should you do yoga? So the whole purpose is not that. The purpose of yoga is it can make you a Trikaladarshi and established. It is not just, see, the difference is getting established, because you are leading life with this physical body, with this biomemory. So always it is possible for the things around you and minding around you to get influenced by it. When you are dealing with time, actually your mind matters. Your mind really matters. So when you are with Hatha Yoga, mind, the matter can be understood. You will not get attached to it. You will not get minded by it. This is what exactly happens. When you are doing Hatha Yoga, you drop all the karmas. Means what? You are completing with them. It's a very important completion process. Either you complete with your depression, because if you are depressed, you can't, you will not feel energetic, and once you feel energetic, once you feel the life moving in, you are more alive. So you don't give, so you give thoughts to you give life to your healing thoughts also. So bottom line, Hatha Yoga, by doing Hatha Yoga, you can experience all the postures just by doing one posture. It is possible. You can experience the whole of Hatha Yoga just by doing it once. And that is how. And you can actually, this is what it means that Shiva continuously does the Hatha Yoga to keep the science alive, or Shiva does every technique to keep the science alive. Means what? Using that technique, just by using that one technique, he's reviving all the things. He's going through all the things, what all has happened, just by doing this one technique. So that is how, just by doing one, see, it is possible that you have learned just one yoga asana, and you are able to train all the other yoga asana. It is possible, and the possibility exists, and you are able to deliver the results. But when I say result, it means not just health and this knowledge which I'm talking about, which you have, maybe you have understood or you have not understood, but this is what exactly happens. Experiencing the whole ocean in a drop, and experiencing eternity in just a moment, getting established there, and living it, because you are living with this body. So living enlightenment needs Hatha Yoga. Living enlightenment needs Hatha Yoga. That is why masters like Patanjali, who just give the formula, even you know, prescribe, they prescribe Hatha Yoga. So it cannot be just left. See, it is not helping you to discover you. It is not even helping you to rediscover you. It is helping you to experience the rediscovery of you. See, if you just see a glimpse about you, now if you are listening, you just see a glimpse. After 1 hour or 2 hours, you may not remember everything just like it has happened. But if you are doing a Hatha Yoga, and then if you are, looking at, when you are doing the Hatha Yoga, and then when these thoughts happen, they just become your biomemory, they become your experience itself. That is the beauty of Hatha Yoga. It can happen only with in an Upanishad. Alright? It can happen in Upanishad. But not everyone is fortunate enough to have an Upanishad with master. So that's why enlightened masters used to prescribe the Hatha Yoga. Whatever other reasons you give, other than this ultimate completion, the ultimate enlightenment, they are all side effects. Getting established or experiencing the eternity in a moment, the whole ocean in a drop. This thing is what Hatha Yoga does. Thank you.